Good morning, 8th grade. I will not be here today. Mrs. Benedict will be working with you. Please be extra respectful to Mrs. Benedict. She does have treats here for you if you are respectful, and she will pass those out once the entire room is cleaned up and you are ready to go at her discretion. Today you're going to be starting to build your actual food for your project. Don't worry if things don't go exactly how you want it today. It can be a day to experiment, try some different things out. We have plenty of time. This isn't going to be due for a couple of weeks, so don't freak out too much. A couple tips that I want you to know when making your clay food. Of course, all of you are making different things, so it will be different for all of you. If you are making something that is bigger than, I would say, about this thick, you will need to hollow it out. So say you're making a donut and you're going to make a decent sized donut. Now remember, this food should be life size. It shouldn't be like miniature food. We're going to make food that looks as real to life as it can. So if you were making a donut, there are a lot of different ways you could do it. My donut isn't going to look as good as yours because I'm just throwing it together quickly. But say you started with a ring. Now this clay is pretty thick. If I were to fire this clay, there's a good chance it wouldn't be all the way dried out, or that there would be an air bubble in it and it will blow up in the kiln, which really isn't fun. It wrecks your piece and the pieces around you. Even though you might think that's funny, that's not the goal at all. So once this is built, and you may not be able to do this today if it's too soft, but you will need to hollow out the bottom. So you'll need to have a definite top and bottom to your piece. Okay, so there's one tip about clay. So this will be the case if you're making something solid like a scoop of ice cream or a piece of cake or something like that where it is going to be a thicker piece of clay, right? The goal is that this doesn't look like clay in the end. So if it's all chunky where you put it together, you of course will need to smooth that out. If you have something that's textured, I do have a toothbrush, never been used except for clay, that you can add some texture, and it's probably hard to see on the video, but that will give it a different texture. Be creative. If you find different ways to add different texture to your clay, that will be fine too. If you are making something that is going to attach to something else, I'm sure you've learned this in the past, but just to refresh your memory, you will need to score and slip. So say I was making, I don't know, a pizza, and I had to add on a pepperoni. Of course, your pizza will not look like a clay blob, and your pepperoni will look much nicer than mine, but just as an example. So I have my pepperoni all made. To attach this on, I can't just set my clay on top of clay, or it will fall off. Even if it feels attached, even if you kind of smush it on, when it goes in the kiln, it will fall off. So what you need to do is score and slip, or as I like to call it, hashtag and slip. So you're going to score or hashtag both pieces of clay. So you're just putting little marks in it. And I'm sure this is a review for all of you who have used clay before. And then slip is just watery clay. And I don't have a lot of slip made up, so you will have to share. But you just are going to put some of this watery clay right inside of those lines. And then that acts like a super glue inside of Velcro. And then push it together, and now your clay is actually attached to the other piece. So while you're building your different pieces, if you're going to attach anything, you will need to use score and slip. Please use the tools that are here. There are different carving tools, there are different cutting tools. They will add different kinds of shapes into your clay. They can carve in different ways depending on what you're making. Be creative, experiment. Today is a great day to try some different things. If at the end of the day you're really unhappy with anything, go ahead and throw it out. If you are happy with it, I will leave out plates and bags for you to put them on. Make sure your name is on your plate or your bag, and then it can be put away on your shelf or above the shelf. All right, good luck. Thank you.